Welcome to our Glory Globe TV. Here's the breaking news. Yes, the G20 leaders summit in New Delhi in September was expected to be overshadowed by war in Ukraine. A skepticism of the commentate in Western publications that Delhi ended up establishing as irrelevant after a joint statement was clenched on the first day of the summit, September 9 itself. This time during the virtual G20 summit, the Israel-Hamas war is the most pressing global concern. Delhi has asserted its stated commitment to its support a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine while condemning all forms of terrorism. The virtual G20 summit coincides with one of the most significant of all diplomats and developments in West Asia since the war erupted between Israel and Hamas on October 7, ceasefire in Gaza, and return of some of the hostages that Hamas took after it attacked southern Israel. Ahead of virtual G20 leaders summit on Wednesday, November 22nd, African envoys held New Delhi's presidency. The ambassador of Angola to India, Clemente Pedro Francisco Camancia, said that India has played an important role in addressing global health challenges. India's contribution has been integral to the successes of the global guiding, and I would like to take a moment to praise India's pivotal role in leadership in addressing global health challenges, promotion of sustainable developments, and promotion of digital transformation, said. While the ambassador of EDITA to India, Alam TSA Older Mariam, who is also the Dean of the Diplomatic Corporation in India, said India's G20 presidency has been pivotal in advancing the interests of the global south and forging a more inclusive world order. Separately, African envoy M. Alois Bijendavi, ambassador of Burundi to India, thanked India for supporting the inclusion of African Union as a permanent member of the G20. The government of Burundi thanks the government of India for rising in the support of the voice of our African continent to become a full member of the G20. Bijindabhe said Africa to have this opportunity to join this family is indeed something that we Indians will never forget about India. Nigerians ambassador of India, chair of ECOWS, Ahmed Sule and Ahmed Sule said, if the top challenges for India during G20 leaders summit was to ensure that Russian offensive in Ukraine does not overshadow the bigger agenda, this time Delhi has Canada challenge. The Israel-Hamas war is likely to less prominently features in the G20 virtual summit because the whole idea of a virtual meet is to take stock of the things that were agreed upon during leaders summit in Delhi. Between G20 summit and Delhi in September 2023, now India and Canada have seen their ties plummeting to the lowest. Just a week after G20 summit on September 19, Canada linked India with the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a claim which was subsequently denounced by India and expulsion of diplomats on the two sides. Since then, the Nijjar row has become the bilateral flashpoints between India and Canada. Trudeau was seen as the most snubbed leader during the G20 summit in Delhi, away from media's attention and geo-economic significance as he closed to skip official dinners and made it a point to attend the formal businesses of the summit only. As Trudeau was to leave Delhi, his official plane developed a technical malfunction and he had to stay back in India for nearly 2 days and denied the Indian offer to take the services of an Indian Army Air India One plane instead. Here, India's Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi will preside over virtual G20 summit on today, Wednesday, November 22nd. On September 10, at the closing ceremony of the G20 summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that India would be hosting a virtual G20 leaders summit prior to the conclusion of India's G20 presidency. Leaders of all G20 members, including the chair of the African Union as well as 9 guest countries and heads of 11 international organizations have been invited. Beyond the report, Glory Globe.